So today I am going to talk about how to connect a single NIRSport 2 device to Aurora, the data acquisition software. So for our NIRSport 2 device, when you're ordering the NIRSport 2 devices on NIRX's website, you can either choose to order a fiber set of 16 by 16 or a fiber set of 8 by 8. What this means is a 16 by 16 would be 16 sources and 16 detectors, and 8 by 8 is 8 detectors and 8 sources. For the videos today and the machines that we have a one set of fibers that's 8 by 8, so 8 sources, 8 detectors. And that's what we are going to show today. So the first thing I want to show is the fibers themselves. So when I talk about an 8 by 8 set of fibers, this is one set. The fibers are on my neck here. So this is the most fragile part of the fiber set. And then the optodes are placed already on a cap configuration that's 8 by 8. So these are the fibers themselves, and then this is our NIRSport 2 machine. These are the materials that you'll need for connecting your NIRSport 2 single device. So when we're connecting wirelessly the NIRSport 2 to Aurora, the data acquisition software, NIRX recommends using an access point as the most reliable method for data collection wirelessly. So for our access point, we have a router here, which again, we will have all of our shopping list of all of the items that we bought that didn't come in our NIRSX package online on our website. So there's going to be a document just with links to all of the things that we bought. And this is the router that we will use. So the first thing that we'll do before anything when connecting your device is plugging in your router nearby your data collection site. So I will plug my router into the wall here, and then we will go in and start connecting our single NIRSport 2 device to Aurora. Okay, so now for this video, we're going to talk about just connecting a single NIRSport 2 FNIRS device with a single set of fibers, so an 8 by 8 fibers, 8 sources, 8 detectors on one set of fibers. So this is going to be pretty simple. So what you'll need to do first is you're going to plug in your access point. So it's really important that you plug in an access point before you turn on your NIRSport 2 device. If you don't plug in your access point before the NIRSport 2 device, your NIRSport 2 device will broadcast on your network and internet settings, and then it will make it more difficult for you to connect the NIRSport to Aurora. So the first thing I'm going to do before I start my connection is I want to upload my configuration to Aurora. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. If you have built your configuration on NIRS site, you can either save it to your computer and pull it from the location or file that you saved it and pull it to Aurora, or you might have saved it directly into Aurora, and you'll just have to select the configuration that you would like to use. So to do this, after I open my Aurora, it will take me to the main screen here, the default window. I'm at the bottom of the screen. There's going to be 3 buttons, and I'm going to click the middle button that says Go to Configurations. So I'm going to the configuration I made that I'm going to use for this video has been uploaded directly to Aurora. So I'm going to click on New Configuration, and I'm going to choose my mini configuration. That's the name of one of our studies, and I'm going to call it Test 2 for the purposes of this video. So even if it has a name in the saved configurations on Aurora, you can change the configuration name based on the study or however you please at the top here. So I'm going to call it Test 2. And so the next important thing is selecting the amount of devices that you have. So since we're just doing a single device with an 8 by 8 configuration, we are going to ignore this first 16 by 16. We're going to keep it at 0, and we're going to select one device for the 8 by 8. So this is just telling the computer how many machines it's working with and how many sources and detectors there are in the configuration. So once we have that settled, we're going to keep everything else as is, and we're going to hit OK. So now my configuration that I have uploaded to Aurora now pops up on the configurations display. Now it's time to connect my single NIRSport 2 device to Aurora. So I have already plugged in my access point, and I'm going to click on this horizontal rectangular icon on this toolbar at the top. And this will take me back to the main page of Aurora. So I am going to go to my network and internet settings on my computer and just make sure that my access point is connected. So I'm going to click on my internet settings. I'm going to select the name of my access point. In our case, it is called DenLab. I'm going to click connect. Okay, so once it's connected, I'm going to turn on my NIRSport 2 device. So I'm going to just hold down until it turns green. So something to do too, if you're about to start data collection, you're like, I don't remember if my NIRSport 2 device is charged. If you quickly press the button, it will show the charge with light at the corner of the NIRSport 2 machine. So this one is fully charged. Something just common practice that we do in our lab is if we have since we have 2 machines and one of our studies requires only 1 machine, 1 cable, we try to stay consistent with which cables and which machine that we're using. So we always put labels on everything. So for consistency purposes, we keep everything standardized. So now that I have this on, either your device will automatically pop up on the Aurora's main page, or I will have to click refresh list. I usually just keep clicking refresh list at the bottom left hand side of the screen until the device pops up. Okay, and so our device pops up. I'm going to select device. And something to note too, the device type and everything about the device will be listed here, the name of it. So this is another just double check that you're using the device that you wish to use, that's casting the right one. So I'm going to select device. Now I'm going to select my configuration, hit select. And at this point, you should place the cap on the participant's head, plug in your fibers. If you're using a trigger cable to send events, plug in your trigger cable here. And the fibers will go here. They'll always go, if you're using an 8x8 for a single device, the sources and detectors will always go on the top 2 plugging locations. So now all of your fibers and trigger cables that you're using for your experiment will be plugged in. The cap should be on the participant's head. You can take whatever measurements that you need to take. And now we're going to run signal optimization. If you want to learn how to run signal optimization and troubleshoot if you're not getting excellent signal, please locate our signal optimization video on our website.